actually.
Hmm?
I'm just the secretary.
Secretary gave us some great information yesterday.
We get it down. Don't escape, man, without us, time.
Are there any corrections to the board?
I did the corrections, I just sent them out, but I made all these,
How you doing, John?
but I finished what everything else. I cool, and that was supposed to be one percent. Okay, thank you.
How
How you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Awesome.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hello.
Did they sign it? Those? Did they sign it?
I don't think it's forward, but I don't know what I'm speaking of.
Yeah, he signed it. Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning. Or afternoon.
One of those days.
Always.
I'm feeling a little funny. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Just for the record, Miss Green, texted me and said that she'll be late. She can't leave her job until 12. Okay? This meeting will come to order. It is to be noted in the book of minutes that the required 48-hour notice of this meeting was mailed to the office at the time, the Trentonian, and the clerk of the city of Trenton, as well as having been posted in the main entrance of the authority, 875 New Willow Street, in accordance with the New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Gentry.
Good.
Commissioner Lopez. Here. Commissioner State.
Here.
Commissioner Walker.
Here.
Chairwoman Weldon Boyd.
Here.
And, Mr. Rain was also.
Can I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So move.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Gentry.
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes.
Commissioner State.
Yes.
Commissioner Walker.
Yes.
Chairwoman Weldon Boyd.
Yes. At this time, can I have approval for the regular meeting minutes for the meeting held on October 9th, 2024?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Gentry.
Yeah.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes.
Commissioner State.
Yes.
Commissioner Walker.
Yes.
Chairwoman Weldon Boyd.
Yes. At this time, can I have the approval of the executive session meeting minutes for the meeting of October 9th, 2024?
So move.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Gentry.
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes.
Commissioner State.
Abstain.
Commissioner Walker.
Yes.
Chairwoman Weldon Boyd.
Yes. At this time, we have a report from the secretary.
Since we had the executive session, I just want to go right to the resolution. We have, I feel like we have a lot to talk about.
That's fine.
Okay.
Can I have a motion? Oh,
Mr. Tibbs is going to present resolution 2448, 2449, and 2450.
Yes. All right. Good afternoon, Commissioners.
good afternoon.
All right. We'll start with Resolution 2448. This resolution is to authorize the approval of disbursements for the month of October in the amount of $2,447,933.60 split between the general fund of $1,259,489.61 and the capital fund of $1,188,443.99. It is my recommendation that the Board of Commissioners adopt this resolution approving the disbursements for the month of October. If you have any questions.
Can I have a motion to adopt resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Gentry,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez,
Yes.
Commissioner State,
Yes.
Commissioner Walker,
Yes.
Chairwoman Weldon Gordon.
Yes.
All right. Will do. Resolution 2449. This resolution authorizes the adoption of the DCA 2024 budget that was previously approved by the Commissioners at an open public meeting held on September 11, 2024. The Department of Community Affairs requires that the governing body of the Housing Authority in the City of Trenton adopts the resolution after it is approved. It is my recommendation that the Board of Commissioners adopt the resolution approving the adoption of the DCA budget for 2024.
Can I have a motion to adopt resolution
So
24?
Second.
Any questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Gentry,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez,
Yes.
Commissioner State,
Yes.
Commissioner Walker,
Yes.
Chairwoman Weldon Gordon.
Yes.
All right. Resolution 2450. This resolution is for the snow removal for the upcoming year. An RFP for snow removal was advertised on September 11th. Proposals were due by October 1st. 5 proposal packages were requested. 2 proposals were received before the due date. 1 proposal was limited in the sites selected for THA. Job 1 Landscaping was the highest rated respondent with the proposal that was both responsive and responsible. THA elected to put Job 1 under a retainer of $50,000 for December. THA maintenance will assist with the sidewalks as required. The THA will pay Job 1 the retainer fee of $12,500 per month through the months of January through April. In the event of a significant snowfall, THA will make a payment to Job 1 that will not exceed $50,000 per month, not until the contract reached $250K for the series of 2024 to 2025 winter season. It is my recommendation that the Board of Commissioners approve this resolution for the, it is my recommendation that the Board of Commissioners approve this resolution to enact the Executive Director to execute the contract with Job 1 for the snow removal of 2024-2025 season. This initial retainer of $50,000 will, and the $50,000 per month payment will not exceed the $250K for the season of 2024 to 2025. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Question.
Can I have a motion to adopt 24-50?
So moved.
Second.
Questions?
Thank you, Madam Chair. My only question, Mr. Tibbs, is just from my own knowledge, what would be significant snowfall?
Hard to say, right? So significant snowfall would be anything above and beyond what we estimate to be about $50K. As of right now, the retainer fee that we have negotiated or that was presented from the contractor was $12,500 for their initial startup as an immobilization fee. If it goes beyond that, they are billing us per hour, per man hour, and by their equipment that comes in. By site, that all has to be approved by our maintenance director prior to them and signed off for those invoices there. But those costs will not exceed $50,000. So whatever that hourly rate that they're charging us for the on-sites and the removal of the snow during that period, it will not go greater than the $50,000 per month. So when you say significant snowfall,
Yeah.
that can vary, but we're capped at 50,000. So the max exposure is 50,000 per month.
To add to it, I think significant snowfall would be anything over 7 inches. So we hit 7 inches, you're looking at extreme weather, you're looking at repeated turns for adding chemical assaults to de-ice and stuff like that. So we would have to look at where we're locating this, removing the snow, where we're relocating it, which is going to cost more man hours for us. So that would be deemed a significant snowfall that would amount to for us.
Okay, I appreciate that. It's just a $37,000 difference, so I'm kind of like, wow, what kind of snow you talking?
Yeah. And we've been lucky in the past, but it's always good to have the coverage.
Yeah, okay.
I have a question for you. I have several. For me, because I am a resident here, and job one is not cutting it. And I would like to know who determines where job one starts. And let me tell you why I want to know this question. If I have to be to work at 8:30 in the morning, and I have already shoveled my spots, my car and my walkway, and when I come home at 4:30 and the sidewalks are still not done, I have an issue with that. And it's not happened once, but several times.
Okay. Well,
And I know we have a lot of sites, so that's why I want to know who determines what site gets done first.
well, I think it's a coordinated effort between our maintenance team as well as job one. But if there is, like, to take that into a consideration, depending on where we start, I believe the senior sites are targeted first because of the capability for them. The seniors, we try to get those. I know that they are high priority for us, so we try to take care of the senior sites first to make sure that they're taken care of, and then we get to the other sites. But that we can put together, we can talk offline about a plan to put together a plan of action as we look to tackle the snow. And then it also depends on the severity of the snow as well. So those things are weighed in.
We've been using job one for a long time, and I feel as though 50,000 a month.
Well, it's not 50,000 a month. Again, it's the retainer fee up front is the 50,000. However, the retainer fee per month is only 12,500, which is significantly less than what we've seen in the past. But there is an initial fee, initial retainer of $50,000.
And nobody else has applied.
Well, there was one other candidate who submitted an application. Unfortunately, they only submitted it for 2 of the 9 sites that we have. So because of that, their application, they didn't score highly, and when we did the rating, as everything rated out, because their cost was, I would say, if you extrapolate that to the entire THA, it was significantly higher than what job one was presenting.
And not only that, due to the fact that we have several sites, why couldn't we have a contract with several people? Did anybody think about that?
We put it out, the advertisement goes out to all.
For all of the sites,
for-
or the sites broken up?
Well, I believe it goes out together. It goes out for all the sites. So people can bid on it however they bid, however they come back in. But we can look at, possibly looking at other ways of advertising going forward to see if we can't entice or attract other contractors to see what those amounts are. But I will say that this contract is definitely in line with what we've seen in the marketplace, and it is definitely favorable for the housing authority for the coverage.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Gentry,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez,
Yes.
Commissioner Staton,
Yes.
Commissioner Walker,
Yes.
Chairwoman Wilden Gordon.
No.
The minutes should note that Commissioner Green arrived at 12:12.
All right. Thank you, commissioners.
Resolution 2451, the compensate pump. Mr. Martin, you doing the compensate pump?
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
Resolution 2451 allows the Executive Director to enter an emergency contract for condensate pump system replacement, Wilson Homes, Building 5, Eisenhower Avenue crawl space. The pump went bad. We needed to do this right away. So we had a couple step process here. One was to identify the pump that's required, which we did previously in Building 6. That same pump is a very long lead time. Because of that, we have a temporary fix as well. We have brought in a temporary pump until we get the permanent one in, as well as we also had a failed valve that had to be replaced. So this all had to be done on an emergency basis. The total cost of the project is $97,497, but it had to be done in order to keep the systems at that building going. So we ask that the board approve resolution 2451 for the emergency replacement of a vacuum condensate pump at Wilson Homes. Thank you.
Can I have a motion to adopt 24-51?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Mr. Martin, I have a question. The vacuum pump for what? Is it pumping out water?
Is it a water pump? You can answer that. Is it pump water?
I put a brief description in the actually your report, but it's a condensation pump. The system at on Eisenhower, Mellon, and on the Wilson Homes side, it starts at 5 Eisenhower, and then it pushes all the water, the steam over to Mellon Street. We installed a new condensate pump which catches all the water from the steam after it cools down, but it has to be pushed through to the other side. So what ends up happening is after it builds up, it has to be pushed along in a complete loop. Forgive me, I'm sorry. But what ends up happening is the water has to be pushed all the way through the whole cycle. When we replaced the new pump on the Mellon Street side, it created a larger leak on the Mellon side. So we had to replace the condensation tank underneath Mellon Street.
So this is why, like right there at the corner,
The water.
the water
Right.
builds up and it gets frozen?
Right.
Okay.
That's when
Yes.
we, yeah,
And
that's
where all the ice.
the reason why we
and
did
stuff
Mellon
always-
Street, yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right, sorry.
Mr. Lake,
Yes, sir.
Does that pump the water into a large tank or pump it into a sewer line?
It pumps into a large tank. And then it's a vacuum, 2 vacuum pumps that push it back to the other
To the
side.
tank that
Right,
pushes back to the system.
right.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Gentry,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez,
Yes.
Commissioner Staton,
Yes.
Commissioner Walker,
Yes.
Chairwoman Weldon Gordon.
Yes.
Resolution 2452.
Okay. Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
Resolution 2452 is a resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Trenton authorizing the Executive Director to enter into an agreement with the Brook Group for redevelopment program management consultant services. We have been using the Brook Group since 2012. They had assisted us with creating a community empowerment and Section 3 plan. They also worked with us on our Hope 6 project. They worked with me on Davis-Bacon compliance. They worked with us on RAD conversion, which was our first one from Page Homes. And they're currently working with us for the redevelopment negotiation agreements with Campbell Homes, AKA Fraser Court 2, and the Trace Neighborhood redevelopment agreement we're doing with PRC. So we recommend that you approve this resolution. They were the only respondent to this RFP, and they were therefore making them the highest rated, and their contract is not to exceed $90,000 a year. Any questions?
Can I have a motion to adopt resolution 24-52?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call.
Thank you.
Commissioner Gentry,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez,
Yes.
Commissioner Staton,
Yes.
Commissioner Walker,
Yes.
Chairwoman Weldon Gordon.
Yes. At this time, do we have any new business? I have, all right. At this time, we'll go to public session. Did anybody, did everybody sign in? Who would like to be heard today?
Okay, give it to them to sign in. Thanks,
For those who would like to speak, please make sure you sign your name. When you get to the podium, please say your name and where you live. Who's first on the list?
Yeah, we can do the first one. Let me just read your name.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, how are you today, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. My name is Jehu Stryker. I live in 237 Oakland Josephson Building in apartment 508. And I've been there for at least 8 years. And I've been trying to get them to fix my apartment, you know, and make it look dignified. They fixed some of the work they did, the bathroom sink. But the most ugly thing in my apartment is the old-fashioned cabinets is all broken. They don't close anymore. And I have the double sink from way back in the 60s. It's always clogged, it's always leaking. So I've spoken to several people down in my office. I think the latest was Miss Uchi, you know, to get it fixed. She keeps, every time I go for research, she tell me, oh, we're gonna fix it. I call for them to fix it. Nothing happens, you know, so it's bad. The sink, when stuff gets stuck in there, it starts to smell. It's rusted out. That's not the way for anybody to live, okay? 8 years I've been trying to get, I put in work orders, nothing happened. Okay, so that's why I'm here today. I'm also, yes ma'am?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I'm also here because I believe our buildings are smoke-free buildings. People are smoking all kinds of things in the building. They come right from under the door, coming to your apartment. There are people in our buildings with health problems, CPAP machines, oxygen tanks. There should be no smoking in these buildings. You know, there should be smoke-free buildings, and I know people can smoke weed and all that, but when you're in that building, I had a letter when I first got in that building said this building is a smoke-free building. So what are we going to do? Put signs in the hallways, or how it's going to be implemented that, you know, people should not smoke in the building? It's not healthy for some of us that have health problems, lung problems. So I would love for you people to please address that. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good morning. Oh, afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Rolette Hammond. I live in Josephson Building in apartment 705. I am also the secretary of the resident council at Josephson, and that is the hat I'm wearing today. As you can see, I got a long list. So
I'm sorry, what is your apartment number again?
705.
705.
Okay, where do we start? I want to talk about the pipes in the building that are continually breaking and dropping sewage on the first floor downstairs. We recently had a busted pipe in the common room by where the piano stays, and it has been covered up with poop and poop water. And the piano now has to be retuned because the water is there and they're going to have to get to it quickly before it starts to rust. That's one. Somebody in the 14th and 15th apartment line in our building is dumping grease from their windows and their balcony at least 2-3 times a week. They've hit a couple of people's cars. People have fallen and slipped because the grease is on the ground by where they handicap, the little groove going down, because of the grease. And maintenance is aware of it, and they know where it's coming from, and they haven't done anything about it. Neither has the office. We have residents in the building who take their trash from their apartments and put it in the trash can in the laundry room. Okay, so I have a tendency to go down there around midnight, 1 in the morning. I think they figure that the guard is sleeping or not paying attention, and they bring their trash and they dump it in. And I have the names in the apartments if necessary. I can help you with that. We have a resident in our building, Mr. Lisnack, John Lisnack. Mr. Lisnack thinks that the common room is his living room, and that he is entitled to watch TV there all day, every day, until he decides to go home. Mr. Lisnack likes to throw out the N-word, to people. We put signs in the common room. There's a part of the common room where we don't allow eating and drinking. So we put a sign in there with council that no eating or drinking in the area. He tore the signs down. I asked him what he did with the signs, and he decided to tell me a few choice things and refer me to the security guard to report him. He's been reported by half the building because he's rude and disrespectful. And I think he believes that he's above some sort of reproach. We've had to pull people from trying to beat the bejesus out of him because he called them the N-word and what's the other word he was using? He called them E-word. Oh, he called them trash. He told them to go back to where they came from, go back to Africa where they came from. Okay, so he's only living because of God's grace right now. Okay, because he's rude, and if he doesn't like to be among people of color, maybe we should find him somewhere else to go. Okay, so let me do trash, N-word, okay. And I'm sure if you check, they got plenty of complaints on him. Every day there's a complaint. The rule is, at least my understanding of it, so if I'm wrong, JT, tell me.
You're right.
An hour, you watch an hour, and then if somebody else is there that wishes to see something else, then you have to turn over the remote control so they can watch what they want to watch. That doesn't figure into his situation. Okay, I talked about the pipe, talked about the grease, Mr. Lisnack. Last time I was here, I talked about lighting in the parking lots. Okay, I've been a victim of somebody trying to break into my car, and they've also siphoned gas out of my car. And the lights, okay, we've had some little challenges because of the change of the time. So that when dusk comes, normally the lights come on, right? Okay, so the lights have been, we've changed time, about a week now we've had the new time. All right, the lights still don't come on at 4:30, around there. And there are about 8 lights that are out. We also have people who decided that the back parking lot is their party ground. So they're there all hours of the day and night, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Either they're having fun in their cars, you know what I mean, having fun in the cars, and playing loud music and talking loudly while they get drunk. Okay. Security won't call the police. Okay, I've had to call the police because my apartment's in the back. Okay, 3 o'clock in the morning, I need to be sleeping, especially on Saturday night. I gotta go to church in the morning. So they're disturbing us. You wanna go do your wild thing, go do it somewhere else. They're either doing it in the back or in the front of the building on Oakland Street by that first fence. That's where they are. And that's where they sell and buy their drugs. Okay, because you can see it from the terraces. We got teenagers going down our street on Oakland with their those bikey things that they have that make all those loud, horrible noises. I called the police department and asked them, what do I do to get speed bumps on the street? And I was told no speed bumps because we have ambulances and fire trucks coming to our building. Okay, so that means that when I see a speed bump down on Ewing, they don't have the police going down there. They don't have, fire trucks going and ambulances going to people's homes. Okay, and the only time we're gonna have a problem is because we get ambulances. Because I think if we put some we could get them to put some speed bumps, we could get some more rest. Not only that, they're trying to run over the old people. Okay, the people are getting off the bus, they got their walkers, they got their canes, and they're coming down the street at 50 miles an hour. And that is not just the biking people, it's the cars. They nearly ran me over one day. So it's a health and a mortal threat to us who live in the building. The trees, we have trees coming into we have 3 openings to come into our building. The first one takes you in front of Josephson. The second one takes you more toward Abbott, but still into the parking lot. The trees are blocking the signs. Okay, they're blocking the signs, they're blocking the lights. When you try to come in so you can see, it's a one-way. Some people have tried to come the other way. The other thing is, residents included are coming out, when we go, the second one is only go in to the building, not to exit the property. Well, we all decide we're gonna exit the property. So I'm coming in from somewhere, and I turn in, I come face to face with somebody SUV, and if I was driving any more faster than I would have ran right into him. And it's not the first time. It's like, it's happening, we have big signs, there's signage there. All right, maybe we need to put it in big red neon so they can know. You cannot go out this way. Every now and then we have to do that because a fire truck or an ambulance is at Abbott and you can't get out. But even then we try to get somebody to say, wait, let the person come out, so we don't have any accidents in the building. Trees, again, talked about the trees the last time at the flagpole. We had to put a new flag in because the last one had to be retired because it was all tattered. And the people at the armory put a little flag in because of the trees. I have been asking for the trees to be trimmed since the last time I was before this body, and they still have not been done. So I still got this little rinky-dinky flag, but I can have a nice American flag just flowing in the wind. I can't have that because the trees are interrupting that. Okay, let's see. We talked about the lights. We talked about lights coming out of the dust. Washing machines. Thank you for the nice, pretty looking, laundry room. The 2 front washers do not have enough water. When you put your clothes in there, when you open it, have your clothes are still dry. Secondly, don't bother trying to use hot water. There's no hot water. So if you press the hot water setting on any of those washing machines, there is no hot water. It is still ice cold. I have a question. Maybe somebody from maintenance can answer me. When you complain in the office about, let's say I go in and I say the lights are out or something's broken, and you go into the office, is it customary for them to give you a copy of this complaint? Because I've been there 4 years this month. I've never gotten a copy said, okay, Rolette, you complained about so-and-so, we told so-and-so, here you go. Okay, that day I left here, I spoke to my maintenance person. He said to me that the lights, for us to get more lights, public service had to do it. I stood there and I watched him fill out the paperwork in the office. It's been months. I think I haven't seen you guys for like maybe 4 or 5 months. Nothing. We need more light. The people that live in the back of our buildings are jumping over the fence. Yeah. Okay, they're selling their drugs on the property that belongs to us, to you all. Okay, they're selling drugs back there. If you happen to turn and come in that corner one night, late at night, and you come into them, who knows what could happen? Alrighty, as you well know, we have the drug dealers up on, what's that street that's come by Abbott?
Hoffman.
Thank you, my people, Hoffman. They're right there on the corner, all day, most of the night. Okay, Hoffman and Oakland. All right, I remember the first time I moved there, I asked to find a bus to go to the train station. Somebody told me to walk down Stuyvesant. Bougie black girl, not the move for me. Alrighty, I couldn't even make it 20 feet. Somebody was offering me something. Alrighty, so maybe the other part, especially the part about the cars and people touching people's cars, if we could just get somebody to walk the grounds periodically. They don't have to do it all the time, just enough for somebody to see somebody coming, to put the fear of God in them, to scare them a little bit. Okay, just a little bit. Because we need to be safe in the building. I'm one of those who has asthma. Alrighty, I have to walk through the building. I bought signs, no smoking 50 feet from the front door. My president's afraid to put them up. And he won't give them to me to put them, because I'll put them up, and I will call the police if I see you smoking 50 feet. Because technically, Trenton Housing Building is federally funded. No smoking. No smoking. They're turning their trash in, open the trash, the chute that you all cleaned on nicely the last time. They take the plate of their food and drop it right in the trash and then put it down the chute. The walls have roaches all on the walls by apartment 17 on every floor, almost. Especially 7, 8, 5, and 2. Roaches, all, the people who live, I don't know how to do it. Alrighty, I asked for my door to be fixed to flush the water, the jamb of the door. I was told I was supposed to have a gap because I need air, for air to come in and air to go out. I'm way over 50. I'm not a child. And this is not my first rodeo. So don't see me and think I'm stupid.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to my minor rant. I appreciate it. Have a great day.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
My apartment is 1007 French Tower. The washing machine is good over there, but we got a problem with the dryers. You put your clothes in the dryer, you put your card away, it won't work. Somebody told me, take the plug out and put it back in. Wait a few minutes. I take the plug out and put it back in, it still don't work. Then I got to run and take my clothes upstairs and hang them up. That's all I have.
Just the dryers.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Kenneth Hill, President Press Towers, Apartment 715. I had November the 13th, 2024, November the 6th, 2024, a resident council meeting. Apartment 107 and 411 still have issues with gnats in their apartment. Kevin Blake, apartment 90.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hill. What was the apartment number again?
107 and 411.
Next.
Gnats in the apartment.
Thank you.
Kevin Blake, apartment 904, is having problems with someone shaking his doorknob after midnight on more than one occasion. Rhonda McLaurin, apartment 812, has to call the police, call a cop to her apartment on 2 separate occasions. 11/4/24, Monday, she came home to find her apartment door unlocked and open items were removed, clothing, cable equipment. 11/5/24, Tuesday, 3 months of complaining the locks have been changed 3 times according to residents. The resident suggested that security guards accompany anyone that has to enter their apartment. My thing is to that is security has been good. 12 o'clock security, Claudia, I think his name is. Thanks to Mr. Glover, Mr. Green, and Mr. Leggett. Like I always say, when I make a phone call, they always on hand, so I need somebody to talk to. And other than that, everything is fine. Thank you very much.
It's Virginia. Oh, come on, right on up.
Excuse me? Oh. Watch your hat.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
The reason I'm up here is I live in building 8.
Your name, please.
LeBron Mitchell, I'm sorry.
Apartment number.
816. My problem is with the dogs. People have dogs and they let them come out and just go to the bathroom. Anywhere, everywhere. You step in dog feces. Secondly, my complaint is, in my building, people come in and they go to the bathroom. And it's urinating and pooping in the hallway. I'm constantly, yes, big hunks. It's not the dogs, it's people. I'm constantly cleaning it up with bleach and soap powder. I'm constantly cleaning the hallway with that. And I can smell it through in my apartment. And it's terrible. And I buy the products and I clean it, which is okay. And the third complaint is those young guys shooting dice by the buildings. They go from building to building all night long. They go and shoot crack, dice. And you just get tired of it. I can't sleep at night because they stay out all night long and they do this. And it's not right. It's only 4 of us now in our building. Some of them got, moved out. And I shouldn't be living like this. I put in for a transfer. I hope and pray to God that I'm able to move very soon. And that's my concern. Is what, I have to always constantly cleaning that up in the hallway. And when I come in, you can smell the urine. And they do it at nighttime. And who wants to sit in their apartment and smell that? I have to step over it. And when I come downstairs, I have to go to shopping or the doctor or something where I have to go. It's piles of it in the hallway. And then I go right back up and just clean it constantly. And I complained it to Mr. Uzi, and I talked to him, and he knows it's not right. And one of the guys come in there, and they see it. So, those are my 3 complaints, the dog, and what goes on in the building, and the shooting crap, dice. Those are the 3.
Ms. Mitchell, can you please tell me where you reside?
Pardon?
Is it Donnelly?
No, yes, it is, Miss.
Donnelly?
Yes.
Are the doors locked?
No. Anybody can come in the building.
Okay.
Anyone could come in there. But that's my 3 complaints,
Thank you so much.
And, the little 4 neighbors that live in my building, we look out for one another. We love each other. So anybody knock on my door, I'm an older person. Anybody knock on my door, my next door neighbor be like, who is that person? But I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful to God for that we look out for each other. But that's my complaint. Thank you so much for hearing me.
Thank you. No problem at all.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Virginia Marshall, Dolly Resident Council. I live here on Dolly. Oh God. My first complaint was the gut or high rise, about all the drug infestation, homelessness, living in their building. Like she said, the feces, stepping over, gang stuff down there. There's no protection down there. And they're older people. Sick, some of them are sick. This don't make no sense. We really got to clean this up. I know we're in transition of moving people out because but it's a real safety issue. And nobody should be subjected to live like that. I don't live down there in the gut, but I feel for them because every day they go through this. Our tenant meetings, this is what it consists of. Complaints. There's nothing positive about people, how they're living down there at all. I did contact Mr. Glover, THA staff. I'm about to go over because there's no reason why the police or anybody can't clean that up. That should not be allowed, and these people pay rent. They have no safety. Some of the residents, some of the seniors, they say they don't want to come out their house. They too scared. Why? You don't have no peace where you live at. I know the world, everything is going on in the world, but when you don't have peace at home, that's no way to live. Everybody here, they go home to their house, whatever. But this is what we have to contend to every day. No, I don't live in the high rise, but I feel for them. I get the calls. Virginia, you gotta come see. I did walk down there. It's ridiculous. Homeless people laying in the bed. They won't get up. they pooping in it. What? Where are we doing this at? Because if you go in these high, counties or whatever, they're not doing that. They're not allowing that. So why are we allowing it? This really needs, the residents come and they complain about this every month, all the time. And every month we're out here with the same situation. And it's not cleared up, it's not cleaned up, and they're still allowed to. How is drug dealers, gangbangers allowed to rent? They don't have no LLC here. They don't pay no rent. How can they force these people to live where they're living, to stay in their houses, and they got control? How are we allowing that? And everybody say, oh, well, we're working on it. No, we're done working on it. Because these people don't have no peace of mind. And then everybody want to talk about mental illness. That's the start of somebody's mental illness. Besides what they got going on in their own personal life or home. This gotta get cleaned up. I don't want to be back here next month. I don't want nobody calling my phone telling me the same thing, or they drug, or they can't come out their house. That's unexcusable. We have a police department. We have security. There's no reason. Clean it up. Clean it up. I'm not accepting any more excuses, whether I live there or not. And neither should you guys.
Before you sit down, let me ask you a question. Excuses from who?
I'm saying, when these residents call, okay, for instance, I'll take me for example. When I call the police, they make you hang up and they make you call the non-emergency, because to them, and I'm sick of hearing that with everybody, it's not an emergency. It's not acceptable right now, or we're waiting on to send somebody to the location. That's ridiculous. What is your sense of urgency? What is considered sense of urgency? Because I keep hearing everybody throw this word around like...
There has always been two separate numbers. 911 is one number, and then the non-emergency is another number, which I want to say it's 71.
If you're not shooting, they don't want to hear you. If it's not a shooting, they don't want to hear you. To me, if somebody's saying they're gangbanging, or they're fighting, or they're gangbanging, or jumping somebody in a building, and I call 911, you're asking me, oh, how many is it? I don't know. What you think, I'm going to open my door while they doing all that? If I look out the peephole and I see a whole bunch of people that they don't live here, so I'm gonna put myself at risk because you're too lazy to come out. That's ridiculous. And then there's not enough lighting around here. So then because when they come, they want to look, oh, we couldn't see on the camera because it's dark. I can tell you right now, yesterday it was an accident sitting in my house. Everybody came out. That boom was so loud, it sounded like multiple cars. It was only one car. Calhoun Street is so dark. We had this conversation about lighting it up around here on all the streets. Why? Why is not? I don't know if the guy couldn't see or what. We don't even know what he hit. We called 911. They asking you, like I told 911, I can't see the person or barely the car. I don't know what's going on across from my house because it's so dark you can't see nothing. And we're surrounded by gates, so I can't go assist the person or see if the person all right.
Well, my suggestion to you, for the neighbors who keeps complaining, because I have not seen them in this board meeting yet, maybe they need to come to the board meeting. Maybe they need to tell their side of the story. How many times are they going to tell you an issue and you relate
whether they
it to
tell me or
us?
come or not, this stuff should be cleared up. It should not be going on. Like, just like when you make a 911 call, I'm not going to make a 911 call because I don't come to a board meeting or whatever case. If I see something, I'm going to call.
Well, when you dial 911, they're gonna ask you questions. If you're not prepared to answer those questions, in reality,
Oh, I'm
who are you
prepared.
really helping?
I'm prepared, but guess what? I couldn't see who the person was and what was going on with that person because it was dark outside. It's just like, for instance, when them 3 ladies get off the bus, it's so dark on Calhoun. If they don't walk through the gateway or wherever they live at, like in the high rise, it's dark. Anybody can get mugged, raped, anything. Then what? They gonna come back to these cameras and say, oh, it's too dark. Or the person had a hood going. That's the famous line and famous excuse all the time. Just like the cars out here getting vandalized in. That was one of the issues. Oh, it's too dark. They can't see. And they're getting vandalized in Turner Point and Donnelly. So now what?
We'll have a meeting about it.
Well, what you want me to tell the residents?
They'll get back to them.
Okay, that's okay.
Ms. Marshall, I'll say one thing that the Housing Authority is doing. You know, I've been here, I work here, and in the 3-story walk-ups, we've had these issues for years, right?
Correct.
And like you said, it's a combination of the city that has to help us to correct that. The police, you said they don't come. Security comes down there over and over again. Soon as they leave, the people come back. So you're right. I mean, we do have to try to come up with some solution, and I really believe that the solution,
That's what I was
solution
saying.
is that we may look at the lighting, okay?
Yeah.
But as far as these social issues that occur down there, again, I believe that
we all need to come together
is doing
collectively.
what we have found to be the thing to do, and that is to move people out of there and start a whole new community, because right now we even have the residents themselves.
And we're in agreement to that.
Let me say something. Residents themselves are vandalizing cars. Residents themselves are causing a lot of these issues. And the administration, or the management, you know, we use the tools, they use the tools that they have. However, what's happening down there, I'll have to say that the administration is doing the things, even with security. You told me the last time I was here, I said, well, what about security? You said they are doing better. So that was something I really appreciated hearing.
Yeah.
So we just have to continue to work together.
I just want to just clarify something.
It's not a blame.
The lighting.
Yeah, because remember we
inside is lit up like a football field. Inside is about
right.
The
We're talking around
a city
around yes, and we talked about that before. We came to the round table about that before, and it's still no lighting. But like I said, it's a danger. It's a hazard. It's a danger
I would
because
suggest on the lighting that this is not the place for it. Then you should go to city council. City council meeting should be for the lighting in the neighborhood surrounding.
That's fine. I'll go to wherever I have to. But I'm just saying, like in the interim, that it's not a blame. With me, it's not a blame game. It's because everybody has to take accountability for the part they play in the situation, any situation, regardless. The residents, I do hold them accountable. The company you keep, listen, you are responsible for your company that comes to your household. So if they're out of order and they're indignant and they're affecting other residents, no, you're going to be held accountable for that. Whether somebody else calls the police on them, if you get evicted, it's because you're in violation of your lease. So don't get me wrong. I'm holding everybody accountable because it doesn't make sense when people come to me and say, oh, it's not a sense of urgency. It is a sense of urgency. When I pay rent, my livelihood, it is a sense of urgency. That's why I'm trying to get the definition of what people think sense of urgency is. Because when you say that, to me, that's a life-threatening thing. To me, that's keeping a person in bondage. When they pay rent somewhere, they should be able to come and go. That's a bondage thing. That's holding you hostage in a place where you should have peace of mind. So we're going to talk about mental illness and all that. You don't think this is bringing this on too, other than what they already got going on? And I'm not blaming just Trenton Housing Authority, residents, police department, whoever got to be accountable for what stuff is going on. Period. And we got to clean it up. We got to rectify it. We just can't say, oh, we'll get back to you, or, oh, well, that's not a sense of urgency right now. You can't tell these people that. That's wrong. And every way you look at it is wrong. Because at the end of the day, they still got to go back to that. And to your question, Ms. Weldon, the reason why some of them don't come on, because they scared. In the past and even present, word has gotten back out on the street. So we tell the resident, okay, if you don't feel comfortable coming over here, you don't feel comfortable coming to meeting, they don't trust nobody. They don't know who, you understand what I'm saying? You don't know who taking what back to what when they see a person.
Right.
You know, and that has went on. And I fell victim to that. So I know. So that's why I'm speaking on it. I can speak on what I know. Not what somebody tell me, not what I think.
Retaliation from the staff?
It's not from the staff. I'm just like, okay, it's just, for instance, if a resident came over here and said something or told something without, for somehow or some reason or whatever the case may be, it gets back to that person in the street. So then you got them being harassed, or they just scared, or they're not coming back. So they blame who they come and tell at the end of the day. So I don't know who they come and tell, but they just let us know. We came in the house and we told such, they might have said we told management, they told the maintenance person, or whomever. It doesn't even matter. They're just too scared to come here and say what they say, being on past experience.
So my question is, so when the information leaves this room, because I'm thinking like the information when it came into this room, it probably went to another room before it even came here, because people talk. So when they leave this room, you're saying that the tenant feel like their life could be in danger, or somebody start harassing them, or things like that.
Correct. That's why I've been bringing most of the information.
So is that coming from like other residents that's in housing authority?
Other
that's
residents,
doing that?
yeah.
So other residents are now harassing other residents because they are putting in complaints.
That,
Right.
and whoever they come tell, they're being approached. So
And then when they be approached, it's in a hostile manner.
basically, so residents don't come.
Because when I'm listening and when I'm learning, and I'm from Trenton, and the gut been like that my whole life. The problem is we all gotta really take accountability.
Right.
Because like somebody said, it's really the company we keep. Because a lot of them guys, if I go down there right now, they gonna say they mom there, they aunts, they grandmoms, they have an excuse on why they're here. So like I'm looking at our residents in my community, like what we doing? Like I got a grandma, and my cousins can't come sell drugs in front of my grandma's house.
That's right.
My cousins can't do some of the stuff that these boys is doing. So what happened to our community, and what happened to our mothers
That's right.
and the fathers in our community?
That's right.
Where now we friends with our kids. Because I got a mom, I'm not her friend.
I have a 32-year-old, and I tell her all the time, I'm not your friend, I'm your
Our
mother.
tenants that it's time for grandmoms to go back to being a grandma. It's time for aunts to be aunts. Like we gotta start telling our people the truth too, because it's becoming okay, because nobody's not telling them that it's not okay.
I'm only gonna speak for what I say. I do, because I'm old school and I was raised old school. And this nonsense that they do, we weren't allowed to do.
But they've been doing it, like I could say my age, I'm about to be 34. They literally have been doing this now for 34, 35 years, almost 40 years. We have had, I went through Palmer, Jackson.
It's a complacent. It's a complacent thing.
We've had multiple mayors. We have not seen any change. We have had multiple chief of police. Half of the residents that live in our housing authorities are not even showing up to city council meetings. They're like, we have a lot going on in our city, and we gotta hold people accountable. I go to city council meetings. Sometimes they let me on the Zoom. Sometimes they don't, and I speak my mind. But what I'm saying is, our residents, if it's we know it's a major issue. At this point, going into 2025, everybody who got a problem with the hood, that we're gonna call it like it is, should be going to council meetings every month. We should be going to NAACP meetings, because it's a lot of factors. We should be going everywhere. Like we shouldn't just be coming to housing authority, because I'm telling you, there's nothing we can do about the lights, because the city control that. And if they got it in their budget to put no lights up, they'll put it up. But if nobody is going to the city council meeting saying that Dolly Homes, not Stuyvesant, the nice part of Stuyvesant. Not Dolly Homes, the surrounding Dolly Homes need better lightings. Is anybody going there saying the surroundings of Roger Gardens need better lightings? Like the people that be in city council be them people from West Trenton. And they get everything they want because when they come in a body. They don't come just singular. They come multiple. We come by ourselves and we go off. And then they come with everything written out on the paper. They hold everybody accountable. They give a paper to council so we can see the tenant address. We don't got to know no names. We know the complaint and everything. They come organized. They come with their folders and everything. They come ready to do business. And that's all I'm saying about our people. We want results, but we not doing our business. Right now, we got a problem. There's no way that gut is the way it still is and nobody not going talking to the chief of police. There's no way that the mayor is not being held accountable if that's the issue.
Right.
But nobody not talking to the cops because then we had this attitude, oh, I'm scared to tell the cops because retaliation is going to happen. You know, our ancestors was scared. We don't think Martin was scared, but he did it. Malcolm was scared, he did it. Medgar Evers was scared, he did it.
See, I don't believe
and they
it.
died for it.
See, I don't believe in excuses because I already done been to the table with them. So at the end of the day, like you said, I'm just that one person. And if everybody don't start speaking up and sticking up to themselves,
we have a gang task force.
This is what is going to happen.
We have a
every
drug
time.
and gang task force. It is now time to speak out to them about that issue as the board. It has to come for the tenants. We don't live here. But I mean, I've been here and I've seen it. Shootings are happening. So what we going to do about it? Tear it down and rebuild it. That's where we're at. And then you have some tenants that's mad that it's being tore down.
Yeah.
You know, like we want to give our community and our people something better, something cleaner, something new. And they want to hold on to a toxic, negative environment.
Memories.
Like it's trying to get memories, negative memories. You know, I always tell people Trenton was built on a war zone. It is important to remember how our city was started. It was built on a war zone. A lot of that negative spirits, vibes, it still linger on. But if we're not going to do the work to clean it up, it's not going to change.
Nope.
I am not the type of person that just keep complaining. I'm going to do something about it. At this point, I think when you go back to council, your tenant meeting, it needs to be strongly suggested that y'all move in a number, y'all move in a group. Right. Y'all move, we're going to move with you. I'm telling you, I'm going to move with you. But I'm not about to just be up there because I go off. Because you do need better lightings. I have friends, family members that have been killed in this community. We all probably have in this room. But if the tenants here are not saying anything, what are we going, like, it's not just a housing authority issue. That is a Trenton PD issue. And you got to ask yourself, why the cops not coming in there? Maybe they scared too.
Ms. Marshall, I have one question for you.
I have a question too, Madam Chair.
No problem. Tell me your role again on council.
Treasurer.
You're the treasurer. Okay. So maybe this question ain't for you.
No, you can ask it.
When you personally, because we have all done it for the people who live in the housing authority, when you applied for a residency to come live in a housing authority, you had to sign papers and they told you the rules and regulations, correct?
Correct.
So I was going to say you should suggest to the tenants when you have an issue, because the only people who can help you is a manager at that site. If the manager do not do their job, then it goes to the executive director and the deputy director. Yes. Not another tenant, not maintenance, not security. We have to start where the issue is, so then there won't be any retaliation, or they think that it's a retaliation. Because at the end of the day, when it's time for them to get evicted, it's a done deal because it starts at the top. Not what maintenance said, not what a staff member said. It's just like a job. At the end of the day, the top people is who let you go. So they should not be afraid to come to the office and tell the people in charge what their issue is. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I totally understand.
So being afraid, that is an excuse, because at the end of the day, they still have to pay their rent.
For some
And
people,
sometimes,
for some people, it's an excuse because everybody, like they've told me, they're not as strong as me.
no, I get that, but at the
Everybody-
end of the day, what I'm saying to you, when they don't pay their rent, when something goes wrong, it is the top people who decides what's going to happen. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not the
Correct.
maintenance person, it's not the next door neighbor.
Okay.
If you are truly, in your hearts of mind, feel as though you being a victim, you have to start with the people who are going to help you. Because at the end of the day, your next door neighbor is not going to do anything. You can tell them. They're going to tell one side of the story to one person, another side to another person.
Everybody's not honest.
That is true. And this is why I'm saying the retaliation has to get out of their head, because I'm listening to you talk and you making me feel as though it is maintenance, security, and this is the people that they're afraid of the retaliation. So who is going back telling a different story for them to be in fear of their life? So evidently they're not telling the right people. They are the one who signed the lease.
So some of the residents, and not all of the residents, do protocol. They go to the proper line of people. Some of them have passed management, corporate. They've been going to HUD because they feel like, this is what I'm asking about, sense of urgency, or whatever goes on with the resident, sense of urgency, because to them it's a sense of urgency where you may not feel it is. So
my
they've
point is,
passed.
if they go into HUD, they still has not come to the board meeting. So if you can go to HUD, but you can't come to the board meeting, this is why I'm confused.
Well, why don't you come to our tenant meeting? It's November the 21st, 2024, 5:30 to 7:30.
What day of the week is that? Do you know?
November, it's a Thursday,
What time?
5:30 to 7:30.
Ms. Staten, Commissioner Staten.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Marshall, thank you for coming today. You had quite a list of things, concerns, and now I'm concerned.
I don't like to be up here, but at the end of the day, you know, it is what it
No one
is.
has to bring it, so I'm glad it was you. I just had just a couple of suggestions. I am going to try to make that meeting on Thursday, and hopefully I will bring some people with you that can help you. But one of the things I'm going to ask you, are you aware of the North Ward CPAC, the Citizens Advisory Board for the Police?
No.
So they meet at Galilee on Wednesdays, once a month. Have any of you ever gone?
No, because we didn't know about it.
Okay, so now that's where you need to go for the police presence, because so first of all, one, you need to better understand that non-emergency thing response you get when you call 911. The other thing is you need to develop a relationship with the officers that are charged with protecting the North Ward. Everyone has his own. Donald Holmes is one of them as well. You also get a chance to meet the captain of those police officers that patrol this area. That's some place where you can take your complaints, and you will see. Hopefully, you'll see some improvement, or certainly some more special attention to your area.
You said Wednesday, Galilee, when?
I don't know what Wednesday was. It was just the third. It was just.
It's every second Wednesday, third Wednesday?
No, I don't know. I was just looking on my phone. I saw where the one was for October. It was October 13th. I'm not sure if it's the first or second one or not. Yeah, it was just held on Wednesday, October 16th, from 5:30 to 7:30 at Galilee. And that's with the councilwoman. Do any of you met your councilwoman, Jim Williams?
Yes.
And so
We're considered West Ward. We're not considered North.
We rezoned.
West?
We're considered West Ward.
Yes, they changed the zoning.
Okay. So I know that it got changed for political reasons. Those are voting districts. I suggest you go to the North Ward meeting. But I will verify it. And if you leave your contact information, I will get back to you and tell you what meeting is best to go to. I would still think it would be the North Ward. That redistricting was for political reasons only.
I agree with you.
Those lines, is north is still north
Correct.
and west is
Still
still
on
west.
That's right.
It's
always been
that was
It's now
politically,
North Ward.
yeah.
But they still suggest that they go to the South Trenton meetings.
Yeah.
Because of the rezoning. Because a lot of the residents don't really realize that everything in the city has changed. So all of Lamberton is now North Ward, but they still go to all of the South Trenton meetings. Ferry Street, Mill Hill is all north. So that's how much has changed.
So what I will tell you more about that meeting is, and don't think it's a waste of time, because those officers do take those complaints and whatnot, and they'll meet with you one-on-one, and they make themselves available. If it's not the police officer themselves, then it is the captain who is in charge of the area. The other thing I'm going to suggest, because first of all, I've never been really enthusiastic with the security here. In the few months that I've been here, I've heard nothing complimentary about them at all. They seem very ineffective, and they don't appear to be serving the housing authority well. So I'll just leave that there. The other thing I want to say is, you said so many things, I wrote so many notes. But the first thing I want you to do is certainly get to the CPAC meeting so you can get an opportunity to meet the police officers that are in charge of this area. Try to build a relationship with them, because that's what the CPACs were all about. They were, those CPACs started back in 1999, and I know that because I was instrumental in getting those established in the city of Trenton after we changed our public safety department from police chiefs and fire chiefs to directors. And that's why those are civilian posts now, because sometimes when people have those civil service titles, they get comfortable and they don't always do what you ask. And so now that we have police directors and fire directors, they work at the will of the mayor. The mayor works at the will of the people. You know how that goes. Yes. Every 4 years, right? We get to say how we feel. So I want you to meet. I want you to get with the police advisory, because that's the biggest thing. It's a matter of policing. You know, if they don't, they can be bad and all that stuff. But when they see a black and white come, they do move. They certainly do move. And so sometimes that's all you need them to do, is just to kind of get out of the way, right?
You said they move around here?
No, they don't. No.
You said they move around here?
Yeah, they don't put up black
No,
and
they
white.
don't. No, they don't.
No. Commissioner Sack, our police officers are our age now. They're our friends now. And I've always said that. So now it's a very friendly relationship.
Okay. Well,
and the meetings are held every Wednesday, every third Wednesday each month, the CPAC meetings. At 5:30. Yep, every third Wednesday of each month at Galilee from 5:30 to 7 p.m.
Are you done?
The church.
Yes.
Are you finished?
The other thing I want to make mention is, so there's a couple things. You need enforcement, you need monitoring. Certainly you have to build that relationship with the police department, because it is true from what my colleague said, it's not all on the housing authority. You know, it's going to take quite a few people to combat this thing. The other thing I wanted to, Oh, this is something that maybe the housing authority can consider in their efforts to make it safe for the residents, and that is cameras in the walk-ups. I don't know if there are or not, but you need to be able to, if folks are being that bold in hallways and things, you should be able to catch that. You know, and people put, and people say, oh, well, you know, it's expensive, whatever. You ever see how everyone's putting up those rings, right? So they can catch packages, making sure porch pirates or whatever it's called, to see who's coming. So maybe that's exactly what we need. You know, some people are scared, are nervous about going into areas. I understand all of that. People are different. They're unpredictable. But, you know, cameras can catch things.
Yes.
And all you have to do is monitor it from here, what is going on in these different buildings. And then you're able to, you know, identify the person. And if it's a resident, certainly, you know, call them out, bring them in, that kind of thing. Cameras are big. I'm big on cameras. I know that I started that with the city. We had cameras installed to catch things. We also had something called a spot shooter, which is put in different areas where crimes were really high. And they served to be very, very effective for the police department. It was another intelligence thing that they needed. And so that's some of the things that, you know, we may have to look into, because it is so true. It doesn't really matter.
We have cameras on the premises. It's just the lighting when they go to view, sometimes depending on where they're at. Like I said, Calhoun Street, Roselle or / Wally, Martin Luther King, it's dark. It's very dark.
And these are the streets on the left. So yeah, so that
surrounding the building.
You have the police spot shooter right here too.
You do have spot shooter?
Right here.
Okay.
You also have the police department, the sheriff department, the prosecutor's office, the state police can see all of our cameras. So cameras are very, very effective depending on who's looking at it and what's going on. So they all have them. We have over 200 cameras here.
Are they inside they're inside the building?
I can see some senior citizens buildings, so can the police. So, you know, like I said, it all depends on who's looking at it.
Okay, well, this appears to be problems with the third floor, 3rd floor walk-ups.
Because it's the walk-up, so
right.
we don't have
so they don't have
them. Not in there.
They don't have
Not in the walk-up.
Okay, so back to my suggestion, that maybe that's something that management can look into. Because it's really not where you live, it's how you live, okay?
That's right.
There's nothing wrong with public housing at all, but you have got to get it under control where it's, you know, it's acceptable to you. And so hopefully we can help with that in some way. I thank you all for coming. That's a lot, and you're very courageous to come and bring all that water here today. I really appreciate it. It was a little overwhelming to hear, but I can appreciate it. It's a lot to hear a lot of complaints, because your natural response is to want to be able to do something, right? To have some kind of action. So don't think it was a wasted trip here. It certainly didn't.
Oh, I don't, because I do work hand in hand with Trenton Housing Authority. That's why I don't place a blame game. We're all accountable. You know, we're all working to try to bring good or whatever. So it's nothing like that. It's just that, again, and I'm going to meet with the director of the police department. Like, your sense of your police officer, I don't understand, but
you will. Once you go to the meetings, there's a lot of information shared there.
Oh, this will be before this meeting.
Okay.
That's how much the sense of urgency is for me. You know, I don't, like I said.
I just want to note one thing, that during your resident service meeting, your resident council meeting, Kaya and her team have been working with the USI, which is our people plan, urban strategy. So they're going to be here next week to meet with residents also to help them with their social service issues. So they're going to start doing the intake process with residents that live in a 3-story walk-up first. So I just wanted to let you know we are working with, trying to work with the residents in that area first, because we know that's the first area that's going to be demolished.
And some people have already been moving out.
And so USI will be here next week at their residents council meeting to work with residents.
Commissioner Staten.
I am done. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Commissioner Staley, excuse me.
Ms. Marshall.
Yes,
Marshall.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm done. Okay.
Commissioner Staley stole my thunder.
All
with
right.
her closing comments. But I just wanted to say this to you. I commend you for coming here, willing to take the bull by the horns and lead forward. I understand because fear is a reality. I've lived in Trenton all my life. If that black and white don't show up, call that triangle. It's a whole different reaction when that triangle show up. It's funny when they see it. But because a lot of times cops show up, they stand right there, state police. Got some social issues that we have no control over. A lot of the grandmothers are not coming back to be grandmothers because now they're on the weed tip.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
they're doing something different.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And the family structure has broken down in our communities.
It has.
And that's creating a big piece of the problem that we have. You know what I mean? And some of it just goes along with how the community is as a whole. Because as a whole, a lot of people just don't care.
True.
They don't care. I mean, I say it all the time. I see young fellas on the street all day doing nothing and then have a place to go sleep and eat at night.
That's right.
You never could have got away with that.
What?
You better be going to work.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
So it's kind of hard to adjust some of those things. Whatever the housing authority can do, I'm sure we'll take a look at it and do it. But like Commissioner Green said, go to city council meeting and force.
No problem.
Very good point that Commissioner State gave you was your meeting with that cat.
Okay.
I know for a fact that works.
Okay.
I've seen it work. I'm not going to say it because I don't know who your captain is, but I've seen it work. And if it don't work, take it to council. 'Cause
So
somebody,
noted.
I don't care how high you are up above you, you got to
Somebody, that's true. So noted. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thank you for coming.
Is there anybody else on the list?
No, that's it.
At this time, we're going to go into executive session, and we will not be back.
Madam Chair, do the commissioners have the opportunity to have comment?
I thought we talked about it in executive session.
My comments are, there's a meeting.
Excuse me.
Comments? Oh, okay.
The
Sorry.
meeting was adjourned.
Oh.
Not quite. Okay. Wait.
We'll start with your commissioner statement.
Thank you. So my comments are actually towards the residents and the administration. I'm always interested in what services and programs are going on. So every month we get this little piece on resident services, and it's been really good. I don't know if you participate in any of the different programs that are geared towards residents of all ages, but there was just a lot of good things happening here at the Housing Authority. And last Thursday, there was a championship game of the 14 to 16-year-olds with Tanya Grant. So I was going to come, but first it was at 7 o'clock, and that was fine. But then she called and said they moved it to 5:30, and I had to be at City Council. So by the time I got here, they were all leaving. But everybody was looking good. They had little trophies and things, and it looked like that was a lot of fun to go to. So I'm still trying to catch a bingo game.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm very competitive when it comes to bingo, so I'm really looking forward to that. But there's so many things that are going on. I just hope that everyone is taking advantage of a lot of these things. You know, very negative things that happens here at the authority, and I'm sorry about it and can't really control it. There must be 5 more things that follow that are so good and positive, and I do hope you take advantage. There's so much work put into it, and there's so many pictures of all the things that go on. So I don't know how often people get a chance to say just how much they appreciate all the efforts that put into the folks who plan it and the folks who attend. But let it be today that I want to let you know I appreciate you for planning and participating. So just keep on. Yeah, things are good. Things, and they'll get better. Yeah.
It will get
Yeah,
better.
they will. They will.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, so that was it. I just kind of wanted to just have a shout out. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
No problem. Commissioner Walker, would you like to say something?
I'd just like to say I'm just so grateful to see the residents that come every month and that you are bringing the issues that you have to us. And again, Kaya, yes, I do just give you kudos on what you're doing because basically I think that one of the issues that housing has is just changing the mindset of our residents. And I think that you're working toward that. And all the the officers, I think you two are working toward changing the mindset of our people, and I just thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Are you welcome? So welcome.
Commissioner Lopez? Commissioner Green?
Only comment I have is, Chrissy, I read your report, it's great, and I just wanted to tap in and say, is the negotiating stage going good?
Yes,
With
it
him,
is,
so-
and we're hoping to bring it to the board next month.
Okay, that's all I have.
Commissioner Jenkins?
No comment. I said
I have no comment. At this time, we will adjourn the meeting and go into public session.
I think it'd be appropriate to have a motion to
Executive
adjourn, and then we go right to executive session, so we have the adjournment.
A motion to adjourn. All in favor?
We're adjourning to executive session.
Adjourning to executive session.
Yeah, to not return for any other business of the day.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye. Thank
We're going into the.
you. Yeah, we need it.